kind of windy out, but I feel like I'd start the video like this because it's cool. I like recording outside. The thing is, with Death Grips, you know, you can never really predict what they're gonna do next. So at the end of part one, you know, once I was reviewing all their albums, I actually listened through all of their albums. I was like, well, I haven't listened to the Powers That Be in a bit, so I wonder how that's gonna sound. And I was absolutely floored. Everything about Powers That Be just goes hard. I really like track On GP. It's about drug abuse. I know there's like 9,000 or 10,000 videos that could talk about it way better than I could, but let's go down into the recording room and I can tell you just how good this album actually is. The Powers That Be is actually a double album. First, it was People on the Moon, and then the second part of the album that came out was Jenny Death. Both parts of these albums are really, really good. I really like On GP a lot, as we've already discussed. And overall, I think The Powers That Be is a really, really solid album. That also, unfortunately, falls into the background for most other Death Grips albums. Because I really do think the main albums that just are the main talking points of Death Grips are probably Ex-Military, The Money Store, and my favorite, Bottomless Pit. I love Bottomless Pit, which we're about to get into. 2016 was another really good year for Death Grips. This is when they uploaded their best album, in my opinion. This is when they uploaded their best album, in my opinion, Bottomless Pit. They promoted it with I forgot who this girl is. It's just a video of this girl talking, like the album came out like a few days later. I have no clue who this girl is, like in the video. If anybody could tell me, that'd be great. Or maybe I just didn't look into the description. But everything about this album's great. Giving Bad People Good Ideas is great. 3 Bedrooms in a Good Neighborhood is awesome. Warping literally sounds like I'm in the pits of hell, but in like the best way possible, you know what I'm saying? I really like this album a lot. Bottomless Pit is my personal favorite Death Grips album. Probably my top 20 favorite albums of the 2010s. And yeah, this, in my opinion, this was Death Grips' peak. 2016 was Death Grips' peak, especially since they just released a double album the year prior, The Powers That Be. Now, in the year 2017, we really didn't get much in the way of news from Death Grips. If I'm not mistaken, this is when Crouching Tiger, Hidden Gabber came out. A few hours either before or after Crouching Tiger, Hidden Gabber was released, there was a bomb threat sent to the Manchester Arena where some popular artists were playing at the time. And this was directly associated with Death Grips, even though it's pretty much just sheer coincidence, as I'm pretty sure Amy Morn was a big fan of the artist playing, so people could like give a loose tie to that. But fucking come on. It's a coincidence that Crouching Tiger, Hidden Gabber was released at the exact same time that a bomb threat was put into some arena. Alright, that was their big controversy for 2017. They didn't really release an album more than they released a 20-minute long mega mix. So I guess you could call that like a kind of pseudo album. But for 2017, they didn't do much of anything. 2018, though, they would release, sadly, their final album as of right now. We don't know if they're going to release again. In the year of 2018, they would release their final album. Year of the Snitch. This album cover is also really, really horrible. I cannot show this album cover for the life of me. It's like 18 mouths, like different sized mouths. I can't. It's like the No Love Deep Web cover and Bottomless Pit. If they like mash like album covers together, you get Year of the Snitch, and it really sounds like the culmination of everything Death Grips has been making thus far. It really sounds weird, it sounds dark, it sounds disturbing, I can't wrap my head around it. Flies is crazy. I noticed this with a lot of albums. The first track and the second track, especially with Death Grips, the first and second track usually turn out to be the best. Looking on Spotify, they released 5 singles before they dropped the album. How do you even do that? That's like basically half the album you just leak. Alright, my favorite track off the album is Death Grips Says Online, mainly for that really good synth that plays. Just it's nice. It tickles my eardrums. What? But that was really it for 2018. And that was their final actual album. Hopefully not. But after 2018, you didn't really see much of anything in the way of full-on projects. There were some hints. Most recently, we've gotten Gmail and the Restraining Orders in the year 2021. And as much as I do like Death Grips for how experimental and disturbing they can be, Gmail and the Restraining Orders is too experimental and a little bit too disturbing. It's really, really shit. let's just get that out of the way. Gmail and restraining orders is shit. It's almost as if Death Grips is teetering that fine line between really, really, really good music and just the worst atrocity known to man. And Gmail restraining orders goes over that field. All right, it's horrible. I really don't like Gmail and the restraining orders. Actual garbage. It's even been memed on a lot of the internet because Gmail and the restraining orders is so bad. And it's not even that people think it's bad. It's people think it's like actually crazy. Like they're going off the deep end. I wouldn't be surprised if someone's like DMing like MC Ride. It's like, bro, are you okay, man? You just released 20 minutes of actual hellfire. Are you good? So Gmail and the restraining orders was definitely a thing. That was a thing that they had to do. But now that's over with and we can actually get to some good stuff again. Live from Death Valley was released 2023 on Spotify. Really, really good. I noticed I'm actually fucking autistic. Oh, Live from Death Valley was released 2022. I'm stupid. I really like Posure Killer. It for some reason it sounds awfully like they're sampling some of their own like songs. Like Death Grips is sampling their own like old work. It sounds really good. Fried Up is also really good. It just kind of it falls in the background compared to Posure Killer. But that's really all. That's it. Let's see what they have in the way of 2023. They uploaded one thing 2023, if I'm not mistaken. Electronic drum solo dub mix single take by Death Grips. This is around 11 minutes of just drums. It's pretty good. I like it. It's just an instrumental. MC Ride isn't rapping. But now that we got the timeline out of the way, let's get into the quirks and like the eccentricities of the band before we really tie this two-parter together. Now, if you go onto Death Grips' YouTube channel, you may see two different albums that aren't actually associated with Death Grips. They're called the I.L.Ys. Now, this is a band that's really just Andy Moore and Zach Hill. MC Ride isn't really a part of this. It's still posted on Death Grips' YouTube channel for traction, of course. Overall, the music's really good. Wash My Hand Shorty's really, really good. All She Does Is Kill Shit is really, really good. I haven't listened to the second album yet, which I don't know is dumb because I'm making a video about Death Grips. But I recommend you really give them a shot. When MC Ride isn't rapping, it kind of like takes the stage for Andy Moore or Zach Hill to just kind of like be a little bit more calm while also having that like Death Grips vibe. And I think it's really, really good. Quiet in the Museum, Please is pretty good too. Alright, that was a quick second part, but that's really it. I'd say, in conclusion, Death Grips is probably one of the best bands out there. I think they're probably one of the best bands ever. Probably not the best band ever, but take it with a grain of salt when I say that they're the best band ever, because I can think of a few bands that outplay them a bit. But that doesn't take away from their strong suits. Death Grips can give you this cacophony of noise that sounds like you're in the midst of like a schizophrenic episode, but in like the best way possible. So that reason and many more is why I consider Death Grips to be one of the best bands of all time. As for new videos, you may notice I uploaded 2 videos in 2 days. That's not going to be happening all the time. It's spring break and I have no friends, so guess what I'm doing? I'm staying at home making YouTube videos every waking hour of the day. So you're going to see a lot of uploads around this point in time. But I'm just another music critic, and that was a guide to Death Grips.
Hey, Jesus! What are you doing today?
Jesus! What am I doing? I'm getting ready for my hot date.
Wonderful, Jimmy. You remember what I taught you about date etiquette?
What's date etiquette?
You non-bumbling buffoon. Date etiquette is what you do on a date to make a girl like you.
Oh, I get what you mean. So, like, choose good music to play.
Exactly, Jimmy.
What music should I play then?
Well, anything on your playlist should work just fine.
I think I know what you mean. I'm gonna play some Death Grips.
No, Jimmy. At this rate, you're never gonna make it to second base. Play something the ladies love.
Oh.
Like Frank Ocean.
Frank Ocean. Got it.
Or Olivia Rodrigo.
Why doesn't anybody like Death Grips?
Well, Junior, the answer's simple.
That makes no sense. It's because of you.
And you.